Does anybody here play on the guitar? We need a green guitar player in our band. Does anybody here play on the guitar? Here's Pat Ferguson to play for you. Does anybody here play on the bass fiddle? We've got a good bass player in this band. I want you to hear him play. Here's Johnny Johnson from Nashville, Tennessee. Does anybody here know a good drummer? We've got one up here on the stand. Does anybody here know a good drummer? Here's Tom Roddy up on the stand. Cheery, Tom. Sounds like we're out with Cowhead. Does anybody here know a little finger picking? Hey, Paul, I haven't seen you in a couple of weeks. Where you been? Here's Paul and Bill from Eastern Kentucky. Does anybody here know a guitar player from down under? I know one, and you're going to hear more from him later, but he might play a course for us now. Tommy Emmanuel. Does anybody here want to play after that? I Does anybody here know a good dancer? Here's a lady from up east. What's his name? Stevie Wonder. I remember back in the 40s there was a guy named Slim Stewart played bass and hummed all the stuff that he played. And I used to go see him in New York on Swing Street. I thought that was the greatest thing, and it was. And it's still great. And very few people can do that. Not many country musicians at all can do that, can they, Steve?
Johnny Campbell does. I love him. Right?
Yeah, Johnny Campbell does. But he plays fiddle. They give me that. I might need it.
It's a long way down here.
Well, let me see what happens next. Yeah, we're going to have Steve do a few tunes for you. I'll let you adjust this the way you want it. So happy for Steve that he's finally doing well in his middle age. I tried to help him out, letting him play bass when he was just a kid. He's just too young then to cut it, I guess. But he's a great friend. I don't think a week ever goes by that he doesn't call me and say, "How you doing, Chet?" Tells me he loves me and everything. Where's your husband, Rose? Over there? Oh, he's taking pictures. I thought maybe you got a shot of him after we said in Tennessee. So here's Steve Warner.
Probably my life was a couple years ago. A lot of people ask me what award means the most to me. I've been lucky enough to get a couple of them. But a couple years ago, Chet gave me his Grammy after I was nominated in the same category. I was so thrilled I was nominated, and then they said, "Hey, wait a minute, you're in the same category with Chet Atkins." And I went, "Oh, gee, who's going to win that one?" I wonder. But he called me down at the Cafe Milano, and I swear to you, I was so thrilled that he gave me his Grammy right on the stage at Cafe Milano about a week after he whipped my butt in the Grammys and taught me a nice lesson. But that speaks volumes about the character of him. And as everybody in this room, I love Chet, and everybody knows that. But thank you, Chet, for my. So anyway, he's got 14 of them, you know. So. I want to do you. This is a thing that I wrote. I've been kind of picking around on it. It's just a finger picking thing. Actually, Arch Juber, a great player out in California, helped me write the bridge on this. I must admit, it's not the easiest task in the world to first have cold hands, but stand up here doing it next with him sitting there watching me like I'm a hog.
First session we did, go ahead and tune. First session we did with Lenny Bro. I thought, well, he's been playing in clubs and everything. He's used to an audience, and so I went down, sat by and watched him play. And I said, does it bother you? And then I sit here and watch you. And he said, well, like, man, like, it's an experience.
One of the first times we ever met, though, I remember we had lunch and I was scared to death. And Chet says, I was trying to talk him into a recording contract, of course, and was begging him to sign me up at RCA. Well, he says, come by to Tuesday and meet me at the studio, Studio B, what it was. And I come down, remember, and Jerry Reed was there. I walk in, had no clue. It was you and Jerry Reed in there. And I walk in like a little young kid. I'm like, oh my God, what am I getting into here? And Chet says, here, take Jerry's guitar and play one. And I go, yeah, right. But anyway, I'm going to play a little bit of, we lost Grandpa Jones this year. I know she was a close friend of Chet's, and I loved him too. And I always loved this tune, Little Finger Picking, 8 More Miles of Louisville. And Paul, you want to jump in here? Go right ahead. You see. I've been kind of working on it a little bit, if I remember it.
so glad that Steve wrote it, and we'll sing it for you tonight. I'm so happy you're here to perform this. It always brings a tear to my eye. Holes in the floor of heaven. Oh, yes.
You know what? My manager Clark, his mother-in-law, heard this first time she broke out crying, and she said, "I don't ever want to hear that thing again." So that's not what we wanted to hear. One day shy of 8 years old, when Grandma passed away, I was a broken-hearted little boy, blowing out that birthday cake. How I cried when the sky let go with a cold and lonesome rain. Mama smiled, said, "Don't be sad, Chet. Grandma's watching you today, 'cause there's holes in the floor of heaven, and her tears are pouring down. That's how you know she's watching, wishing she could be here now. And sometimes if you're alone, just remember she can see. There's holes in the floor of heaven, and she's watching over you and me." Well, seasons come and seasons go, nothing stays the same. I
Thank you so much. I enjoyed playing. Love you, Chet. Yankee land somewhere and bring back some money. Where are you going, Steve, tonight? He's going to Chicago. Hey, man.
Love you, Chet.
Well, I'm glad you come around. Well, I've talked enough. I want to turn you back over to Dr. Pritchard. He's a good guy to have around. If you get sick, you know, he can slip you some pills. And so I think he's gonna, what are you gonna do now? You gonna talk or sing or pick? Talk. Well, I welcome you to the microphone, and I'm gonna get the hell off of here if I can find a seat. You can get me up after Roman and Richard, and I'll see you in my dreams and all that.
Great.
I'll be glad to. Struggle up here. Straggle up here. Is there steps on there? I thought I'd go out here and sit by Bill Spann and his wife. I can walk real good, but I don't want you to see me fall on my hand.
After hearing Steve sing that song, it makes it a little easier for me to ask you to remember our friend who couldn't be with us tonight, Marcel, because we wish he was here, and we want to know that he's somehow he's connected with all that we're doing. We remember him. And then mentioning what Chet just said, I sent Paul Hedman to the hospital yesterday, and he had his appendix out. So Tommy Emanuel's good friend from Australia is recuperating tonight, and we have a card out at the desk. If anyone would like, you can feel welcome to sign the card, and we'll take him to him tomorrow. The more names, the merrier. He'll get better quicker. Chet, we gathered a few of our good pickers here to do a few numbers for you. And we'd like to start out with your good friend, Noki Edwards, who's going to perform a new song he just wrote for Leona. Noki.
Chet had an angiogram and I was down to my last nerve and they got on it.
I'm not sure how anybody could not know it, but Chet recorded Walk Don't Run by Johnny Smith, and the Ventures heard that recording of Chet, and Noki Edwards was with the Ventures when they recorded Walk Don't Run.
Excuse me. I wrote this song and I call it Leona. Are we ready? Power here for both.
Thank you, Noki.
Yeah, I'll get out of here.
John Nichols. The great Noki Edwards. Thank you. We started seeing another side of Guy Van Duzer lately. He's great on the nylon strings, but tonight we get to hear his tribute to Chet. He's going to do Swedish Rhapsody, and he'll probably tell us about the guitar he's playing.
Thanks, Mark. Chet, I don't know. I believe this is the right instrument, the right amp. Mr. Jim Nichols is going to help me out here. And this is a little present for you. Swedish Rhapsody I heard 30 years ago on the radio, and the radio announcer didn't say who it was at the end of it. Shame on him. Took me about a month of going around and asking people, who was that man? What am I hearing? Because I was just a kid picking with a flat pick, and I had never heard anything like that in my life. And I've been 30 years trying to learn to play it. You might remember I even cornered you in your kitchen once and you said, would you please show me where you put your hand on that last lick? And you said, So I'm still working on it, but here you go. This is Swedish Rhapsody. I'm going to sit down. This is hard. That's all right. How's this going? You know what's nice about this too is that Jim Nichols knows every note of this. So if I get in trouble, we'll just, Jim, you turn his volume up and mine down, real smooth, you know.
How many of you here listen to the Prairie Home Companion? Come on. Well, this next guy is the main component of the Guys All-Star Shoe Band. And Robert Henry, did Robert really talk you into writing this? Put him on the spot. Robert Henry claims to have planted the idea for Pat's history of stealing licks.
We've all done it, let's face it.
Come on. Admit it.
Yeah, that was true. I got done with a set one time, and he came up to me and said, you know, you ought to write a song called Stealing from Chet. And so I did. Every night I go downstairs and amuse myself with a little record player sitting on the basement shelf. I got my guitar out and there's some licks I want to get. I'm sitting in the basement, stealing from Chet. It ain't easy for a boy from way up north to try and make his thumb go back and forth. It's enough to sometimes make me get upset when I'm sitting in the basement, stealing from Chet. 'Cause I don't want to be a country star. No, I just want to do that thing that he does on guitar. And I'm hoping if I practice pretty hard, someday I could pick that wildwood flower. But I've always found it worth the toil and sweat, sitting in the basement, stealing from you know who. Steal that one off my own record. When I first heard him play, it was a whole new world. Maybe like when he first heard old Merle. Yeah, but Travis picked it up from somewhere you can bet. So I'm sitting in the basement, I'm stealing from Chet. He told me once he used to think he was a real good player. And by the time he found out he was wrong, he was too rich to care. I've never heard the picker that can top him yet. So I'm sitting in the basement, stealing from Chet. Folk or rock and roll, every guitar picker owes this man a debt. 'Cause we've all been there before, making our fingers sore, just filching every note that we could get, sitting in the basement, stealing from Chet. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you. So next time you listen to Prairie Home Companion, you'll feel a little bit closer to the radio. I'd like to introduce once more for about the 12th time this week, but we couldn't do this thing without him, Jim Nichols. And his brother John. And from Paris, Roman. For some of you, this will be your second hearing of this song, but I don't think you'll object too much. They're going to do for Chet their rendition of Main Street Breakdown. And it's now close to 50 years since it was written. And it's obvious when you hear the tune that it was written with the influence of the great Django Reinhardt. So I think it's very appropriate that these many years later we'll hear what it would have sounded like if Django had been able to play it. We also have the marvelous Nashville fiddler with us tonight. Randy Howard. Randy Howard.
Oh, yeah.
I also should say that Tom is playing Chet's Super 400.
There you go.
So this is how it would have sounded with a little Django influence. With Tommy on rhythm, Main Street Breakdown. Okay, let's get Richard Smith up on stage.
Coming, Rich. Rich. Go right in the box.
You have to put strings on it first time.
Thank you very much. My name is Richard Smith, and I'm so... I haven't done anything yet. And we are going to play in unison one of our favourite arrangements by Django Reinhardt. Slightly different. We've got a singer up here. She's going to come up a little later. We're going to do I'll See You in My Dreams, because both Ramon and I both know this Django Reinhardt arrangement. So neither of us could afford a chorus pedal, so we're both going to play it together, you know.
Places in your closets.
I'll